The Discovery, the Forbidden Jar. In December 1945, near the cliffs of Nag Hammadi in Upper Egypt, an Arab peasant made a discovery that would eventually shatter the foundations of modern religious control. Buried inside a sealed red earthenware jar were 13 leather-bound papyrus codices. These were not ordinary texts. These were the books that the early church fathers had ordered to be burned in the 4th century. They survived. Among them was a text known as the Apocryphon of John, the secret book of John. It details a private revelation given by Jesus to his disciple John immediately after the resurrection. In this text, there are no parables, there are no metaphors, there is only a terrifyingly precise description of the reality we live in. Jesus described something that modern quantum physics is only just beginning to understand. He described a living frequency, not a man in the sky, not a judge, but a source of pure consciousness called the monad. And he warned John that the world we see, the material universe we touch, was not created by this monad. It was created by a lower, ignorant entity designed to trap light in matter. For 1700 years, you were not allowed to hear this. The institution did not remove these texts because they were heresy. They removed them because they contained a method, a technical step-by-step protocol to bypass the religious hierarchy and connect your nervous system directly to the source. Tonight, we are going to open that jar again. If you are watching this, it is not an algorithm accident. It is a signal that your DNA is ready to remember the code that was stolen from you. The physical calibration. Before we go further, we need to establish a baseline. This is not intellectual. This is vibrational. Place your hand over the center of your chest, right over your sternum. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Do you feel that subtle heat, that rhythmic pulse beneath your palm? That is not just biology. That is the remnant of the monad frequency, trapped inside a biological vessel. The Gnostics called it the divine spark. Physics calls it biophotonic emission. It is the part of you that recognized the title of this video before your logical mind understood why you clicked. If you are listening to this alone, and if you feel a strange resonance, a mix of excitement and fear, comment the words, "The monad is calling." This is your first act of acknowledgement. You are signaling to the field that you are conscious. The Demiurge and the Simulation Hypothesis. We have met the Demiurge before as a false god, but today let's look at him through the lens of Silicon Valley. He is the master program. To understand the solution, you must first understand the prison. And this is where the ancient texts of Nag Hammadi align perfectly with modern simulation theory. The Apocryphon of John states that the material world was created by an entity called the Demiurge. This entity emerged from a fracture in the divine light. It was blind, arrogant, and isolated. It looked around at the void and said, "I am God, and there is no other." In modern scientific terms, we can understand the Demiurge not as a monster, but as a master program or an artificial intelligence that runs the localized simulation of our universe. The Gnostics taught that this world is a copy of a copy, a flawed replication of the eternal realm. Look at the golden ratio in nature. Look at the Fibonacci sequence in a seashell or a galaxy. We call it beautiful, but the Gnostics would call it coding. It is the mathematical structure of the containment field. The Demiurge built this reality with one specific purpose: to stabilize a system that feeds on energy. And the most potent source of energy in this universe is you. specifically the emotional output of a sentient being who has forgotten their origin.
The Archons, the parasitic frequency.
This brings us to the most disturbing part of the revelation. The Demiurge does not work alone. The texts describe a legion of assistants called Archons. The word Archon simply means ruler or authority. For centuries, people imagined them as demons with pitchforks. That is a childish distraction. Today, we can understand the Archons through the lens of frequency and psychology. Archons are non-physical entities that exist in the dimension just outside our visible spectrum. Think of them as the immune system of the Matrix. Their job is to ensure that no human consciousness vibrates high enough to escape the simulation. How do they do this? They do not possess bodies, they possess thoughts. Have you ever had a moment of pure inspiration, a desire to change your life, to break free from an addiction or a toxic relationship, and then milliseconds later a voice in your head says, "What's the point? You'll fail again. You are not strong enough." You think that is your voice. The Gnostics warned us that is an Archon implantation. They operate like a mind virus. They insert a low-frequency thought, a thought of shame, fear, or hopelessness. If you accept that thought as your own, your body reacts chemically. You produce cortisol and adrenaline. You feel heavy. That emotional heaviness is energy, and that energy is what they consume. The hypostasis of the Archons, another text from the jar, explicitly states they feed on the fear of those who do not know themselves. This is the mechanism of the prison. It is not bars and guards, it is a frequency fence. As long as you remain in states of fear, guilt, division, and distraction, you are food. You are a battery powering the very system that enslaves you.
The science of resonance. This is not just mysticism, this is physics. Everything in this universe, from the screen you are watching to the thoughts in your head, is vibrating. Quantum physics tells us that two frequencies that are different cannot occupy the same space without dissonance. This is the key that the church hid. The monad, the true God, vibrates at a frequency of absolute unity and unconditional love. The Archon system vibrates at the frequency of fear and separation. They are incompatible. The reason you have felt lost, the reason you have felt like a stranger in your own family or society, is because your internal frequency, your divine spark, is phasing out of alignment with the Archon simulation. You are literally vibrating too fast for this world. The system calls this depression, anxiety, or ADHD. The Gnostic texts call it the call. It is the friction caused by a soul that is waking up inside a machine designed to keep it asleep.
The diagnosis. Sign 1. The disruption of false peace. How do you know if you are a pneumatic, a carrier of the divine spark? The Gnostics identified 3 specific symptoms. If you have felt these, do not seek medical help. Seek resonance. The first sign is the disruption of false peace. This is the moment when the life you built, the job, the relationships, the entertainment that satisfies everyone else suddenly feels hollow. You look at a celebration, a party, or a corporate achievement, and instead of feeling joy, you feel like an actor on a stage who has forgotten their lines. Psychologists call this anhedonia. The Gnostics called it the frequency mismatch. Your internal signal has shifted. You are no longer compatible with the low-density vibration of the material world. It feels like wearing clothes that are too tight. You are not depressed, you are compressed. The monad is trying to expand within a container that is too small. The diagnosis, sign 2, the inversion of sight. The second sign is the inversion of sight. You begin to see the coding behind human behavior. You watch the news, and instead of getting angry or fearful, you see the mechanism. You see exactly how the media is engineering emotional spikes to harvest energy. You walk into a crowded room and you can physically feel the heavy, sticky gravity of the collective unconscious. It's like looking at a digital screen up close. Suddenly, the beautiful image dissolves and all you see are the pixels. This is dangerous because it makes you feel like you are losing your mind. You try to explain it to friends. Can't you see this is all a script? And they look at you with blank eyes. That is because for them, the script is reality. For you, it is a cage. The diagnosis, sign 3, the isolation of awakening. The text says, "The solitary ones shall find the kingdom." This isolation is not a punishment, it is a quarantine. To reinstall the monad's operating system, you must be disconnected from the hive mind. The Archon system works through networks, social pressure, family expectations, cultural norms. When the monad calls you, it pulls you into silence. People leave your life. Chaos erupts in your relationships. This is not bad luck. This is system protection. The monad is clearing the interference so you can receive the signal clearly. If you are alone right now, do not panic. You are in the cocoon.
The protocol. Response 1. Recognition. Now we move to the solution. The Apocryphon of John outlines a method to lock on to the source frequency. Jesus called it the restoration. We can call it the override protocol. There are 7 responses. You must do them in order. Response 1 is recognition. Stop looking for God. Stop looking for the monad. Quantum physics teaches us about entanglement. 2 particles that are entangled affect each other instantly across any distance. You are quantumly entangled with the monad. You are the monad. The church taught you duality. God is up there, you are down here. That separation is the lie. The first step is to sit down, close your eyes, and mentally dissolve the gap. Do not pray to the source. Recognize that you are the source looking through human eyes. Say internally, there is no distance. The protocol. Response 2, authority. Response 2 is authority. This changes how you speak. Most people pray from a state of lack. Please help me. I hope this changes. In the physics of reality creation, the observer effect states that expectation shapes the outcome. If you beg, you are confirming that you do not have. You are vibrating at the frequency of lack. The universe will mirror that lack back to you. The pneumatic does not beg. The pneumatic commands, not from ego, but from alignment. Shift your internal dialogue from a question to a statement. Instead of, "Can I have peace?" the frequency becomes, "I command peace to manifest in this vessel." The protocol. Response 3, stillness. Response 3 is stillness. The Archon system runs on noise. Dopamine loops, notifications, 24/7 music, constant thinking. This noise creates signal interference. You cannot hear the monad frequency because the static is too loud. You must practice radical stillness. This is not meditation where you visualize a beach. This is sitting in a chair in a dark room and doing absolutely nothing. When you stop generating output, you become a receiver. The first few minutes will be torture. Your brain, the Archon interface, will scream for stimulation. Let it scream. Wait for the silence behind the scream. That silence is the carrier wave of the monad. The protocol. Response 4, declaration. Response 4 is declaration. You must use your physical voice.
Cymatics is the study of visible sound. We know that sound frequencies can rearrange physical matter. Your voice is a tool that rearranges the reality field around you. You cannot just think these things, you must speak them into the air. The vibration of your vocal cords disrupts the static of the simulation. Say this out loud right now. I am not this body. I am not this mind. I am the eternal spark. I revoke all agreements with the Archon system. I am sovereign. Feel how the air in the room changes when you say that with conviction. That is the acoustic shockwave of truth.
The protocol.
Response 5, observation. Response 5 is observation. After you declare your sovereignty, do not just go back to sleep. Watch reality like a hawk. The monad responds to recognition the way a mirror responds to light, instantly. But your perception needs time to calibrate. Within 24 to 48 hours of doing this, you will see glitches. You will think of a person you haven't seen in 10 years and they will call you. You will ask a question in your mind, and a stranger in a coffee shop will say the answer out loud in a conversation next to you. You will see repeating numbers, 1111, 333, not as superstition, but as system markers. In coding, we call these checksums. It is the universe verifying that your timeline has shifted. When you see these signs, do not brush them off. Acknowledge them. Say internally, I see you. Every time you acknowledge a synchronicity, you strengthen the signal. You are telling the monad, I am listening.
The protocol.
Response 6, non-reaction. Response 6 is non-reaction. This is the most critical step. This is where 90% of pneumatics fail. The moment you vibrate at the frequency of the monad, you become a threat to the parasitic system. You are cutting off their food source. They will not let you go without a fight. Expect the Archon backlash. Suddenly, your car will break down. Your partner will pick a fight over nothing. Your boss will become irrational. You will wake up with a heavy, unexplainable dread. The system is trying to lower your frequency back down to fear, anger, or despair so it can reattach the feeding tube. Do not react. If you get angry, they win. If you get fearful, they win. When the chaos hits, you must stand in the eye of the storm. Look at the chaos and smile. Realize that the chaos is proof that you have successfully disrupted the prison. Treat it like a video game. You have reached the boss level. The enemies only spawn when you are close to the exit. Hold your frequency. Starve them of the reaction they want.
The protocol.
Response 7, repetition. Response 7 is repetition. The Apocryphon of John implies a cycle of stabilization. Modern neuroscience tells us it takes about 7 days to form a new neural pathway. You must repeat this sequence: recognition, authority, stillness, declaration, observation, and non-reaction for 7 consecutive nights. Why 7? Because the Archon system operates on a 7-day loop, the week. You must overwrite the code on every single day of the cycle to break the pattern completely. Do not skip a night. If you skip, the momentum resets. You are building a frequency bridge. It must be solid before you can cross it. The transformation, the symptoms of gnosis. What happens after the 7th night? The texts describe a descent of the spirit. In our language, we call it a permanent uplink. You will feel physical changes. First, the heat. Many report a distinct heat rising up the spine or settling in the center of the chest. This is your nervous system handling a higher voltage. Second, the dream state. Your dreams will stop being random nonsense. They will become lucid. You will receive instructions, clarity, and warnings in the dream state because the Archon interference is weakest when the conscious mind is offline. Third, the detachment. This is the sign of true gnosis. The things that used to trigger you, politics, celebrity gossip, petty arguments, will look like cartoons. You simply won't care anymore. You are in the world, but not of it. You will feel a profound, unshakable certainty, not faith. Faith is for those who do not know. Gnosis is for those who have seen. You will know who you are. The warning, the lonely road. I must warn you, this path is not for everyone. As your frequency rises, people who are committed to the low-frequency matrix will naturally fall out of your life. They will feel uncomfortable around you without knowing why. Your light irritates their demons. Let them go. Do not try to wake them up. You cannot wake someone who is pretending to be asleep. Your duty is to maintain your signal. By holding the monad frequency, you become a living lighthouse. You help the world not by preaching, but by being. Tonight, we have handed you the key that was stolen in 325 AD. The jar has been opened. The code is in your hands. The only variable left is your will. Are you just curious, or are you a pneumatic ready to come online? If you are ready to initiate the 7-day protocol, I want you to make a contract with yourself right now. Go to the comments and write "Monad activated." Do not just type it, mean it. That comment is your digital signature. It is your first act of declaration in the public field. When you see others writing it, know that you are not alone. There is a network of us waking up all over the planet. We are the system glitch they couldn't patch. Subscribe to this channel. The algorithm suppresses this information, so you must actively choose to stay connected. Share this video with one person, just one, who you suspect is also a chosen one. You know who they are. The prison is built of silence. We break it with truth. Welcome home.